here are some easy questions in 6. Okay, 6a, simplify x times 7 times x times 2. We say that because they're both times each other and we have the same base, x times x, or 2 times 2, or whatever, 1,000 times 1,000, whatever, because we have the same base, x. So multiplying means adding the exponents. And division is the opposite. You subtract the exponent. We're going to find it out here. So x to the power of 7 times x to the power of 2 is basically x to the power of 7 plus 2. We write the x because it's an identical base written both in 2 times. So write it and then write the exponents added to each other because this is multiplication. We add the exponents in multiplication. So it's going to be equal to x to the power of 9. That's the answer. You're rewarded for this basically, only because it's 1 mark. Simplify y to the power of 9 divided by y to the power of 3. The same. We just said it. Y to the power of 9 minus 3. Always, always, always. The one before the division minus the one after the division. Not big minus small. It doesn't work. What if it's y to the power of 7 over y to the power of 17? It's not going to be y to the power of 10. No, it's going to be y to the power of negative 10, which is going to be later on 1 over y to the power of 10. We flip it, or we put it in we change it into the reciprocal, yes, because we have a negative exponent. Anyways, y to the power of 9 minus 3 is going to be y to the power of 6. Y to the power of 6. Expand and simplify. Expand and simplify always mean in mathematics, no brackets. I want to remove these brackets. So the only way to remove these brackets is to multiply the coefficient outside. 4 times 2d and 4 times 3. So it's going to be 8d plus 12, and then negative 2. Multiply 3d and negative 2 times negative 5. Negative 2 times 3d is negative 6d, and negative 2 times negative 5 is going to be positive 10. So I combine like terms. AD minus 6d is going to be 2d plus 22, and that's going to be the answer. 2 marks are going to be rewarded for the 2 terms written correctly. Here, solve. Part D, you solve. 9y minus 3 equal 5y plus 2. This is one of the easiest questions. You can solve it even mentally. It plays a great role in knowing a very important information, which is you flip the sign when moving your term across the equal sign. So I, for example, move 9y to the other side of the equation across the equal sign, so it's going to be negative y. Before, or at the left-hand side of my bracket, it was 9y. At the right-hand side, it's negative 9y. Why? Because I moved it across the equal sign. Always, the equal changes the sign when you pass across it. So, 9y, and then I move 5y, so it's going to be 9y minus 5y equals to 2 plus 3. I always move the term and switch the sign. So 9y minus 5y is 4y equal to, 4y equal to 5. So 5 is equal to 5 over, y is equal to 5 over 4. You can write it in your brackets. 5 divided by 4, it's equal to 1.25. You can also write it as a mixed number, 1 and a quarter. You can also write it like this. The mark scheme accepts all the answers. However, to always be on the safe side, if you had an improper fraction in which the numerator is greater than your denominator, so please do not write it like this in the answer. Write it as a decimal if it's like not a decimal that is 0.7890158 blah 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 blah. No. Please do not write a decimal if it's a long decimal. If it's a fraction, then write it as a proper fraction or mixed number, if it's this case. Sometimes, if you write decimals, it can take only 2, 3 significant figures. However, writing the fraction is always the best. If the fraction is a proper fraction. Here show clear algebraic working, how to work out the value of x. We moved the 5 by multiplication opposite the operation here. It was in division. I move it by multiplication. So it's 5x equal to 7x minus 1. To gather all like terms in one side, I'd move the 5x to the other side to become negative 5x. So 7x minus 5x equal to 1. I move the 1 to the other side to become positive 1. So 2x is equal to 1, and x is obviously half. You can write half or 0.5, it doesn't matter.